So, welcome to this time's edition of AQuA News. I don't know about you, but I've almost given up reading the daily newspapers because every time you open them up it is so depressing. There only seems to be bad news in them, particularly about the NHS, whether it's deficits or staff shortages or lengthening waiting times. And it's true that the NHS is perhaps in the most challenging time, certainly I've seen in my career. So I just wanted to take a minute to think about what the perfect patient journey would be like. Imagine a man in his late 50s, he's had hip pain, it's got gradually worse and worse so that he can't exercise anymore, he has trouble sleeping, he can only really walk with a walking stick, and he's worried about himself, he's worried it's just going to carry on getting worse. He's also worried that his GP will tell him the NHS can't afford to do these kinds of operations anymore. But actually when he sees the GP, she's very sympathetic and she explains that hip replacement has a really strong evidence base. Within 6 weeks he's got an outpatient appointment and the staff he meets are unfailingly caring and courteous, and they ask him what matters to him. They explain to him his options, the risks and the benefits, and help him make a choice. And he chooses that for him surgery is the best way forward. He's placed on an enhanced recovery pathway and told that he needs to start preparing now for his operation so he can get a successful recovery. And within just a couple of months he finds he's been admitted to hospital. Of course he's feeling a bit vulnerable and anxious, but all the staff are really caring and really professional. And they explain to him that this particular hospital takes part in the Advancing Quality programme, which means that they check that every patient gets all the necessary tests and treatments and interventions that they need. He's only in hospital for 2.5 days and then he's back home, and he's soon speeding around on his crutches, and within just 7 weeks he's back at work, pretty much pain-free, and the operation has transformed his life, an almost perfect patient experience. Sounds too good to be true? Well, I know it is true because this summer I was that patient, I went through that experience. And it was a really great insight for me to be sat on the other side, experiencing the service that our patients receive. And I know I wasn't on my own. The AQuA data shows that 94% of all patients in the Northwest get that great treatment and care that I got. And at the hospital I attended, 97% of patients report through the friends and family test that the care they got was excellent or was good. So we get it right a lot of the time, and the challenge for all of us is how do we get that near perfect experience for every patient every single time. So whilst the newspapers might be depressing, there is lots of good news about the NHS out there, and I hope there's lots of good news in this edition of AQuA News for you to read too. Whether it's about the achievements of our AQuA members in the Kate Granger Awards and the Mental Health Positive Practice Awards, whether it's some of AQuA's work, such as our programmes on system transformation or mortality improvement, or the work we're doing with NHS improvement, all things to look out for, like the World Mental Health Day and the Fab Change Week. There's lots in here for you to read and hopefully be inspired by. And can I just finish by thanking you? Thank you for the interest that you take in AQuA and for supporting our work. But thank you particularly for the work that you do every day to make sure all of your patients get that really high quality experience and care, which I'm pleased to say I received from the NHS. Thank you.